Did you know? The Rebels Season 2 premiere was supposed to have the first appearance of Governor Pryce. She was to be sacrificed by Vader, and Minister Tua would have been promoted to governor. The script was changed so that Tua was killed, and Pryce wouldn't appear until Season 3. Battle damage is now integrated into the characters' new designs. Ezra still has the burns from his encounter with the Grand Inquisitor. Kanan has a scorch mark on his shoulder, and Sabine repaints her armor after taking some blaster hits. The blue Phoenix Squadron A-Wings were designed after Ralph McQuarrie's concept drawings of the starfighter for Return of the Jedi. With docking tubes extended, a blockade runner can carry 3 A-Wings. Commander Sato's ship is a repurposed medical frigate from the Clone Wars. In The Lost Commanders, the shirt Gregor wears has the logo of the diner where he used to work in the Clone Wars, called Power Sliders. Rex, Wolf, and Gregor all have faint surgical scars that show where they had their control chips surgically removed. Agent Kallus has received a promotion between Seasons 1 and 2, sporting a new rank insignia. The Jupa fishing harness worn by Zeb was made out of a Clone Wars era backpack like the one Ahsoka used to carry Rada the Hutt. The clones live inside a modified ATTE. The interior of the walker has decals for the clone nightclub called 79s that made an appearance in the Clone Wars series. In the episode Relics of the Old Republic, the AT-ATs are hybrids of the designs done by Ralph McQuarrie and Joe Johnston created for The Empire Strikes Back. They're much larger than the ones seen in Episode 5, indicating that they're not the exact same model. This episode marks the first appearance of the Fifth Brother. He was based on unused artwork created for The Force Awakens. His species is still unknown. In Always 2 There Are, Kanan and Rex play Dejarik. The scene was originally meant to feature more shots of the game that would reveal some actual rules that have yet to be released. Admiral Constantine makes some disparaging remarks towards the Fifth Brother, which matches the Imperial military's general disdain for the more spiritually aligned members. The medical station is based on the same design used for the Khalida Shoals Medical Center in the Clone Wars. The Seventh Sister species is Miri Allen, the same as Luminara Unduli and Barriss Offee. Her droids are ID-9 Seekers, nicknamed Parrot Droids. The new Inquisitor's lightsabers are similar, but not identical to the Grand Inquisitor's. In Brothers of the Broken Horn, Hondo's jacket has his old pirate symbol on it. The symbol can also be seen at Maz Kanata's castle amongst the flags outside. The music he listens to on the Broken Horn is the same music he listened to in his base in the Clone Wars. As Morrigan's theme is a variation of Jabba the Hutt's theme, since the character is based on early concept designs for Jabba. As Morrigan's luxury yacht is the same ship design as the Lady Luck, Lando Calrissian's ship in Star Wars Legends. In the episode Wings of the Master, Quarry's astromech BG-81 is named after Bill George, the original designer of the B-Wing. Even BG's color scheme matches the shirt Bill is wearing in this photo. The idea that the B-Wing was a Mon Calamari design comes from the 1989 role-playing game that also inspired the planet name Shantipole. Quarry himself is of course named after Ralph McQuarrie, whose work has heavily inspired the look of Star Wars Rebels. The Aurebesh on the side of the B-Wing reads Prototype B6. The Phantom receives some upgrades in this episode, including an astromech socket and a hyperdrive. In Blood Sisters, Ketsu works for the Black Sun, which was originally created for the Legend story Shadows of the Empire, and also appeared in the Clone Wars. Ketsu's ship, the Shadowcaster, was a design originally meant for Asajj Ventress. We would have seen it on screen in the episodes that would eventually be adapted for the novel Dark Disciple. In the episode Stealth Strike, Brom Titus was designed to match the extras of the 1970s that filled out the backgrounds of Imperial scenes. The Imperial weapons technicians wear white and yellow uniforms to signify their part in an experimental project. Interdictor cruisers originally appeared in Star Wars Legends, but the new Rebels designs are much larger and more powerful than their Legends counterparts. The baby kidnapped at the beginning of The Future of the Force is named Alora, which is a reference to Elora, the baby from the movie Willow. The spaceport on the planet Takobo has the arch from Ralph McQuarrie's concept illustrations for Jabba's palace. The arch can also be seen in The Force Awakens. The neighborhood explored by Kanan and Zeb is called Hammertown, a reference to its Ithorian population. I wonder how the Ithorians feel about that. In the episode Legacy, Ryder Azadi is voiced by Clancy Brown, who also provided the voice for Savage Opress in the Clone Wars. His rifle is a modified version of Stila Guerrera's sniper rifle in the Clone Wars. Ezra's vision shows what Lothal would look like without the presence of the Empire. In A Princess on Lothal, the outfit worn by Princess Leia matches the early concept designs for Leia done by Ralph McQuarrie. The clasp on Leia's hair also matches some earlier work, this time some designs found on the wardrobe of Bail Organa in Episode 3. The Hammerhead-class corvettes made their debut in the Legends video game Knights of the Old Republic. The planet Concord Dawn, which we see in The Protector of Concord Dawn, was first established in Legends. In the Clone Wars, Obi-Wan's undercover persona of Reiko Hardeen was said to be from the planet as well. The character of Finn Rau made his canon debut in the Kanan comic very shortly before this episode premiered. The markings on Rau's helmet match concept art done by Joe Johnston that were meant for Boba Fett. In Legends of the Lasat, Chava mentions the Ashla, which is a reference to the original names for the light and dark sides of the Force, the Ashla and the Bogan. Ashla was also Ahsoka's original name. In the episode The Call, Boss Yuchin was designed after, you guessed it, Ralph McQuarrie concept art for an Empire Strikes Back bounty hunter. Sabine painted a Lothcat face on Kanan's stormtrooper helmet. In Homecoming, the Imperial Light Carrier ship was first created as a rebel ship, the Flurry, mentioned in the Legends book Truce at Bakura. Cham, Gobi, and Numa all wear pieces of salvaged Ghost Company clone trooper armor. Numa's armor specifically references Boyle and Waxer from the Clone Wars. In the Honorable Ones, the creature the Banzomi is named after a Zamboni, since they both clear ice. Want some more Ralph McQuarrie inspiration? The Imperial construction sphere left above Geonosis is modeled after early Return of the Jedi concept art of multiple Death Stars being built. In Shroud of Darkness, we can see Anakin wearing a new training outfit, and Matt Lanter returns as his voice from the Clone Wars. For Anakin's lightsaber lesson, the Rebels animation team referenced Episode 3 Swordmaster Nick Gillard giving lessons in real life. The artwork in the Lothal Temple depicts humanoids riding what appear to be giant wolves. Showrunner Dave Filoni is a big fan of the animal. The design of the Jedi Dojo was first shown in the 7th issue of the Kanan comic. The lightsabers on the wall here include the hilts of Ki-Adi-Mundi, Luminara Unduli, Kit Fisto, and Adi Gallia. By the episode The Forgotten Droid, the stolen Imperial carrier has had a paint job courtesy of Sabine. AP-5 is modeled after the Death Star droid from A New Hope, but he better matches Ralph McQuarrie's original sketches. The Arabesh on the stacked containers reads, "This side up." When Hera goes into full mom mode, she uses a character's full name. Here she calls Chopper C11OP. In the Mystery of Chopper base, these small creatures are called Dokma. The larger creatures are called Krykna spiders. The Krykna are based on McQuarrie designs for enormous arachnids that would have lived on Dagobah. This episode features the first on-screen appearance of a lightsaber in training mode. The blades sting but will not cut or burn. The conversation between Rex and Ahsoka at the beginning of Twilight of the Apprentice is a mirror of their first conversation together in the Clone Wars. Although he's the last Inquisitor introduced, the 8th brother was the first one named. The ancient writing designed by Ralph McQuarrie and seen in the Lothal Jedi Temple is reused on Malachor. Dave Filoni drew heavily from mythology and stories of descent into the underworld while developing the story on Malachor. The petrified bodies were inspired by the devastation of ancient Pompeii. Kylo Ren's lightsaber was said to have been modeled after ancient designs that date back to the Great Scourge of Malachor, which we can see proof of here. The 8th brother is a Torellian Django jumper, a species introduced in the Clone Wars. The animators decided to give Vader eyebrows under his mask to help read the animation, despite the fact that his brows had been burned off in Return of the Jedi. Maul and Vader were originally meant to duel during the episode, but the sequence was cut. The original script also had the Temple's machine complete its firing sequence, and we would have seen the Eighth Brother become petrified like the other bodies, but in the final version, the removal of the holocron cuts the cycle short. In an unfinished Clone Wars episode, Yoda mentions giant kyber crystals powering ancient Sith superweapons. The temple on Malachor is an example of one. In the original script, Maul says Palpatine brought him to Malachor as a boy. He says Sidious studied the ancient arts and sought out Sith relics and locations like the temple. That's it for today. If you liked this video, you might want to check out some of the other trivia and fact-based videos I've done. If you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and consider checking out my Patreon page. As always, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.